Hello, Professor Derp here. And listen, we need to have a serious conversation, just me and you, because right now, you are being robbed. I'm not trying to scare you, I'm just telling you the math. You are getting ripped off every single day. And the worst part is, you didn't even sign up for it. You can't see the guy doing it, you can't hear him, but you feel it, right? You feel it deep in your gut every time you walk into a grocery store and realize a bag of Doritos costs $7. You feel it when you look at Zillow and see a cardboard box selling for $500,000. You feel it when you look at your savings account, that money you worked so hard for, and you realize it just doesn't hit like it used to. The suits on TV, the politicians, the economists, they call it inflation. They use big words to make it sound complicated, but I call it what it actually is, the invisible tax. It is a straight up scam, and honestly, it pisses me off. It drives me absolutely crazy thinking about you busting your ass, working 50, 60 hours a week, missing time with your family, stressing out about bills, trading your actual life energy for these little green pieces of paper, only for the system to print a trillion more of them while you sleep. They are diluting your hard work into garbage. You're running on a treadmill, man, and they just crank the speed up to 10. That's why you're tired. That's why you feel like you can't get ahead. But listen to me. Stop scrolling and listen. There is a way out. There is a cheat code. There is a way to build a fortress around your money so the government can't print it away. And the guy who wrote the manual, it's Warren Buffett. Now pause. I know what you're thinking. Derp, isn't that just the nice old grandpa who drinks cherry Coke and eats McDonald's? No, forget that image. That's branding. The real Warren Buffett is a cold-blooded financial survivalist. He is a shark. He has survived every crash, every war, and every crisis since World War II. He knows that cash is trash. While your bank is telling you to save for a rainy day, Buffett is screaming at you that your savings account is actually a burning building. Today, we aren't doing boring stock charts. We are looking at the exact playbook Buffett used in the 1970s and 80s, when inflation was wrecking the US economy just like it is right now. And we are going to steal his strategy. We are going to take the tools of the billionaires and use them for ourselves. First, you got to understand the trap, the American dream lie. From the time you were in kindergarten, you were taught the script. Go to school, get a job, work hard, save your cash in the bank, and you'll be safe. Bro, that is a lie. That advice is outdated. Here is the math. If inflation is running at real world rates, let's say 8% or 10%, and your bank account is paying you 0.5% interest, you are literally bleeding money. Every second that money sits there, it buys less food, less gas, less freedom. You are losing the game by standing still. It is a massive wealth transfer. They are taking value from your pocket to pay off their national debt. So if cash is poison, what is the antidote? What actually keeps you safe? Is it gold? Is it crypto? Is it burying silver in your backyard? Buffett has a very specific answer, and it's going to surprise you. Buffett hates gold. Yeah, you heard me. The safe haven asset, he thinks it's a joke. Why? Because gold is lazy. Think about it. You buy an ounce of gold today, you put it in a safe, you come back in 10 years and open the safe. What do you have? You still have 1 ounce of gold. It didn't have babies. It didn't pay you rent. It didn't invent a new product. It just sat there looking shiny. Buffett calls that a non-productive asset. And it relies on the greater fool theory. You're just hoping someone else will pay more for it later. That's not investing, bro. That's gambling. Buffett wants you to own productive assets. This is the secret sauce. This is the high RPM knowledge that separates the rich from the middle class. A productive asset is something that makes stuff. It creates value while you sleep, no matter what the dollar is doing. Think about a farm. Let's say you buy a farm. If the US dollar collapses tomorrow and turns into monopoly money, does it matter to the farm? No, because people still got to eat. If the price of corn goes from $5 to $50 because of inflation, the farmer doesn't panic. He just sells his corn for $50. The farm makes more money. The asset protects him because it produces something humans actually need. But here's the main thing. If you take nothing else from this video, if you zone out after this, please listen to this part. This is the $1,000,000 tip that Buffett screams about, pricing power. Buffett says the only thing that truly saves you from inflation is owning a business with pricing power. That means you can jack up your prices and people still have to pay you. You have the leverage. Think about Apple. If Tim Cook comes out tomorrow and says the new iPhone costs $100 more because of supply chain issues, what are you going to do? Are you going to switch to a flip phone? Are you going to stop texting? No. You're going to complain on Twitter, and then you're going to tap your card and buy it anyway. That is pricing power. You are trapped in their ecosystem. Now compare that to a generic gas station or a car company that makes boring sedans. If they raise the price $500, you just go to the competitor. They have zero power. When inflation hits them, when their costs go up, they get crushed. They eat the loss. This is why Buffett buys stuff like railroads, energy companies, and consumer giants like Coca-Cola. Think about it. When the cost of diesel goes up, does the railroad lose money? No, they just charge more to move the freight. They pass the bill to the customer. They don't lose money. They just adjust the dial. They act as a pass-through for inflation. So what does this mean for you? I can hear you through the screen right now. You're sitting there saying, okay, Professor Derp, that's great for a billionaire, but I have $5,000 in my name. I can't buy a railroad. I know. But you gotta stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like an owner. You need to stop hoarding cash under your mattress like a scared squirrel. It's dying. You need to deploy that capital into things that grow. So here's the action plan. Here's how a normal person applies this Buffett strategy today. Step one, the stock market, but doing it right. Stop gambling on meme stocks that make no money. Stop trying to find the next big thing that might go to zero. Look for the fortresses. Look for companies that sell things people need to survive. When times get tough, people cancel Netflix. They cancel the Disney trip. They stop eating at expensive steakhouses. But do you know what they don't stop doing? They don't stop brushing their teeth. They don't stop buying diapers for their baby. They don't stop paying the electric bill. You want to own the companies that sell the essentials, the boring stuff, the stuff that has that pricing power. Step two, real estate, the debt hack. This is the classic American wealth hack. Buffett loves this concept for individuals. Here is the magic trick of inflation. It destroys savers, but it helps debtors. If you get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage on a house, your payment is locked in. Let's say it's $2,000 a month. 10 years from now, inflation has made everything twice as expensive. Rents have doubled, salaries hopefully have gone up, a loaf of bread is $10. But guess what? You are still paying that same $2,000 a month to the bank. You are paying back the bank with cheaper dollars. Meanwhile, the value of the house has gone up with inflation. You win twice. You win on the asset value rising and you win on the debt becoming easier to pay off. That is how the rich use inflation to get richer while the poor get crushed by rent. Step three, the ultimate asset. Buffett has said this 1,000 times and nobody listens because it sounds like a self-help poster, but it's just cold hard math. The best asset you can own during inflation is your own earnings power. Invest in yourself. I know. Derp, that's cheesy. But listen, if you are the best at what you do, the best coder, the best mechanic, the best video editor, the best salesman, inflation can't touch you. Why? Because you have pricing power over your own labor. If the dollar loses 10% of its value, you simply charge 10% more for your services. And people pay it because you're the best. Your skill is an asset that the IRS can't tax until you use it. No one can steal it. No market crash can take it away from you. The doctor doesn't worry about the price of bread as much as the unskilled laborer does. Why? Because the doctor has pricing power. So here is the harsh reality check, my friend. If you are sitting on cash, waiting for prices to drop back to 2019 levels, you are dreaming. Snap out of it. It's not happening. The system is designed to go up. The Federal Reserve has a target to debase your currency by 2% every year, and lately they've been doing a lot more than that. The game is rigged. But now you have the rule book. The anger you feel is justified. It is unfair that the rules of money changed without anyone sending you the memo. But now you have the memo. So don't be a victim. Stop playing their game. Shift your mindset. Stop asking, how much cash do I have? And start asking, what do I own? The rich don't check their bank balance. They check their net worth. They check their assets. They don't care if the dollar is weak because they own the stuff the dollar buys. That is the fortress. I want you to win this game. I want you to sleep easy while everyone else is freaking out about gas prices. But you gotta move. You gotta stop being a spectator and start being a player. If you are tired of the system playing you for a fool and you want more of this real talk, especially the next video where we're gonna talk about good debt versus bad debt and how to use the bank's money to get rich, then you need to smash that subscribe button. Join the crew. We are building a resistance against financial illiteracy. We aren't staying poor. I want to know who is really serious about this. Comment the word fortress down below if you are going to make one change to your finances this week. I want to see thousands of you declaring your independence from the cash trap. This is Professor Derp signing off. Class is dismissed. Now go get your money right.